you
Right
doing?
on.
Where are you at right now? Let them know where you are at.
Well, the people might want to know. I don't. Not trying to be all uppity, but at the Kiahuna Golf Course in beautiful Kauai County, Hawaii, the island of Kauai.
I see it's nice out there. It looks
Yeah,
nice,
it.
nice and
Yeah,
green.
that's the Kiahuna Golf Course behind me there.
That's
Uh,
beautiful, man. That's
oh,
beautiful.
this is there's a mountains right there. It's beautiful. This whole
So
island is it's all green, man.
I wanted to talk to you because I know that you got a lot of baseball knowledge. You've been around the block a few times. Tell me one of your best memories from Candlestick Park.
Wow. You know what?
Baseball.
Well, okay, baseball. Because Candlestick was what built in the '60s. I was born in '63, so I got to see Willie Mays. Don't remember him very well because I was a young kid, but my dad took me to a Giants game when they still had the chain link fence right off of left field with no. The stadium really was man, it was not even complete.
Yeah.
60, 69, they're still building it, right? I mean, still doing work. Candlestick got bigger. They added uh did a lot more work to it. And anyways, one of my first memories was watching Willie Mays hit a home run. Like I said, I was probably, I'm going to say, just like I said, born 63, probably 70, 69, 70, 8 years old. My dad took me
Man.
to a game, and uh, I'm trying to remember who the pitcher was, Joe. They didn't fight that game, but there was some, some chingazos here and there, the words, and the fans were out of control. Like,
Yeah.
as a young kid, I didn't understand that, but it was going on. It was going on in the late '60s. It started early when the rival when because they both came from New York,
Yeah.
the Giants and the Dodgers.
Yeah.
My dad was of course an LA fan, so that kind of added to the fire because he was a Brooklyn Dodgers fan. He was from LA originally, but he liked the Dodgers, and he made them when they came to LA. He kind of adopted them as his team,
How
and
did you
then of
become
course he
a
moved.
Giants fan if your dad liked the Dodgers?
Well, my
How did
dad,
that
I
work out
was
in the
born.
house?
I was born in Tracy, California, '63, and of
Okay.
course, the youngest of seven. So I had older brothers. Since we were an hour away from the city, the stick is only natural that my brothers were
That's your
Giants
home
fans
team.
and Niners fans, home team, and my dad stuck with the Dodgers and Rams. Believe it or not, it
Okay.
was a
He's a
good. It was
Rams
a good. It
fan.
was a good
Okay.
conversation piece. He had
Yeah.
three sons that were baseball players and love sports, and we were Niners, Giants, and back then it was uh, the Bay. The team was called the Warriors are from the Bay. Now I'm trying to remember the name. Anyway, they were playing. They originally played in San Francisco,
Yeah.
the Warriors. Then they moved to Oakland. Then they went back to San Francisco. So I didn't go any games, the Warriors games, early games when I was a kid. But I'll tell you, we're gonna get to another show. That'll be another show. But I got some more Warrior stories for me from Opium's Den and Sleepy Floyd, World Be Free, all those guys, man. Bernard King. Yeah, but anyway, uh, I saw Candlestick Park, like I said, when I was a young kid, and from Willie Mays all the way through Will Clark, Jack Clark, Will
Yes.
Clark.
I seen
Uh,
Will Clark play there.
you know, and you asked me for memories of Candlestick Park. I mean, that place as a young kid walking into it, it was just amazing. I mean, if you look at old pictures of Candlestick, I mean, dude, the stadium was never full for a baseball game. Way
Yeah.
too big. Um, we used to actually, the games were so long. We used to like take walks up into the upper deck and straight away center field all the way up to the top, and the players looked like ants. And
Wow.
we'd walk, there'd be no fans, and it wasn't like that, man. I was never at a game that filled that stadium. That's probably why they moved. They couldn't fill the stadium, and the area it was in San Francisco. I mean, I'm telling you right now, straight up hood. Uh, it got worse and worse as the years went by. People would get ripped off, cars broken into.
Yeah.
Security guards were, on the take too. So it got bad. It got really bad. The muggings, the police you couldn't have enough police out there. But
Yeah.
luckily, I never got in any trouble there. Never got mugged. But we fit right in. Me and my brothers, we'd go to game. Me and my friends. I remember going to a night game Friday night in I want to say 79 or 80. I'm telling you right now, a 7:30 Friday night game at Candlestick Park in September, August. I'm telling you right now, you better wear your freaking snow gear, rain gear,
That's what I.
beanie,
That's what I
beanies,
heard. It used to be freezing it because I've been to a
beanies.
few games there as a kid, but it was always day game. I've never been to a night game there.
And it got to where I don't have the hat on right now, but I could drum it up for you in another segment. But I have a Giants hat that has two Crawd to Candlestick. They're little pins that they gave out.
That hat before.
They gave out. Listen to this. If you survived, that's the way they put it. During the game, they would announce if you survive, if this game was an extra inning game, if you survive it, actually, if you actually stayed and survived that cold weather and I survived two of them, and they actually on the way out, they gave you the little pin to commemorate, you survived, and it said it was a little orange.
Game, so question: what's the longest game you've seen in Candlestick? How many innings?
It was a 16 inning game.
Woo!
We got out of there at 1:15 in the morning. It was against the Cincinnati Reds. I believe the final score was 6-5. I might have to do my history and look it up. I survived two night games, and check this out: the one was 10 innings, got over with quick, and the other one was actually 16 innings. By the time I left at 1:15 in the morning, there's probably 40 people there. I mean, it was sad. It was sad. It was just there wasn't like thousands of people there. They were gone, dude. Every inning, the 12th, the 12th, the 13th, the 4th, people were like, "Come on, man, get this game over with." But we were like, "We're staying till the end."
Yeah.
It's just we drive up there, and it was a Friday night game also. So you drive up there from Tracy, an hour away. You're not going to leave early. You know what I mean? I remember you and I were at Pac Bell to get a bobblehead when the Yankees played the Giants. And I know you and I left early, but that was because of traffic, man. That was, and the game was actually the Yankees blew them out.
The bobblehead we got is sitting right up here. Willie Mays.
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
Right?
There you go. That Willie Mays bobblehead. Yeah. You and I actually got two bobbleheads that year.
Yep.
We got the Let Pablo pitch, and the Willie Mays bobblehead.
Yep, we sure did.
So the crowd that to the folks that taking the time out to hear this segment, Joe and I go back a long time, man, a long time. Yeah. I want to say 25 years.
Yeah, we do. We do.
It's been a while, man. Joe's you people, I want you to subscribe. You talk about a wealth of knowledge. I might be older than Joe, but he knows a lot about hoop, college hoop, pro hoop. Getting into the hockey, football, college and pro, and baseball. Come on, man. Come on now.
Okay, well, hey.
You don't got that name Jigadamas for nothing.
Why don't you tell him the story of us picking up Charles Haley from the airport?
Okay, this was 19. No, excuse me, 19. What am I talking about? 2000. I want to say 17.
Around there, yeah.
Yeah, 2017. Right, yeah. I was able to get Joe on a ride to go pick up Charles Haley for the Keena Turner golf tournament that was being held, and Keena Turner played for the Niners. Anybody that doesn't remember, but His name, you should remember his name. Keena Turner's a great man, great human being. Um, uh, anyways, he runs a tournament. He started in Tracy. I want to say not in 2000.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going on. It's no 1997 because he's been going on for 25 years now. So he does an annual tournament, but he started it in Tracy, California, representing helping out the Boys and Girls Club, Tracy, California. Joe Montana was there, Dwight Clark, Ronnie Lott, Bill Walsh, Roger Craig. I mean, I took a picture. I got a picture with Roger Craig and Bill Walsh. I have it. Great photo, man. I mean, I didn't look great, but they did. You know what I mean? It was a privilege. It was a privilege for me to be standing between those two men. I mean, watching them win all them Super Bowls and then, playing all them games on TV, but kind of like heroes, right? We put them on, not to really put them on pedestal, but I mean, there's religion in sports, man. We look at our sports, the players as gods. Sometimes we put them on,
Absolutely.
So it's almost religious like, but to follow sports. But anyway, yeah. So back in like I say, jump ahead to 2017. Joe, I'm not sure the year, but anyway, I was would help out Keena's tournament. By then, it's moved to Pleasanton at the I want to say the golf course in Pleasanton. The name Poppy Ridge. I think Jack Nicklaus designed it. But anyway, Keena had asked me to if I could go pick up Charles from the airport. He flew in from Dallas, where he lives, flew into San Francisco that night at midnight. And that's when I asked Joe Jigadamas to take a ride with me. You might be going to meet Charles Haley. So being the sports,
I'm in. Come pick me up. I'm in.
He didn't even say yes. He just said, "What time are you picking me up?" So I remember you said that. What time are you picking me up? So we picked Charles up, and I don't know if Joe remember. Let me spark your memory here, jog your memory. On the way back,
go in and find him.
What's that?
You had me go into the airport and find him.
We drove around SF International because I was too cheap to pay for parking. Well, I tried to time it so we could pick him up. Linda and Keena both told me what time to pick him up.
Yeah.
And so, I knew the game because I picked up a couple people there for him before. But so we drove around, and I finally asked Joe, did you make a sign that said Haley on it, or
no? We joked about that though.
Okay, look at so Joe actually got out and found him, right?
Yeah. I went in there. He was walking up. I was like, "Hey, I'm here with Chico. We got the ride outside." He's like, "Okay, cool." He's looking at me like, "Who the hell is this guy?" I'm like, "We got you. We came to grab you from the airport. We're gonna drop you off at your motel, and we got it."
That was and I asked you to go because I remember the teams he played for now. The Niners, Dallas. Is this, he didn't play for the Pack, did he?
No.
Okay. Well, being that you're a Packers fan, and that's their rival, Green Bay and Dallas. Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? So,
and what's good is I got to ask him, what does he think about Brett Favre? And he told me he was one of the best quarterbacks he ever played against, and boy, could he talk some shit.
But check this out. No, we had a great talk from San Francisco to his motel in Pleasanton, and we dropped him off probably, what was it, 12:45 or 1 o'clock in the morning?
Somewhere around
there. But I
there.
remember, on a more a note that I don't really want to mention, but I'm going to have to for the people out there. Charles Haley's a great guy. I mean, and I met him. That's the first time I met him. And not because he gave you and I an autographed picture of him posing, with
With the
five rings on his hand.
He was an animal on the field, but off the field, great guy. Great guy.
And you got to meet him the same time I did.
Yeah.
And I remember scaring the crap out of him. I almost ran a stoplight. And I remember him saying, "This is the last time I'm telling Lynn, that's the last time you're gonna pick me up." And I don't know. I thought he was joking, but I haven't picked him up since. So anyway, I remember asking him about his college days at George Mason.
Yeah.
And how tough it was. And if you remember, I'm going to remember what he said. I said, "So where was that?" And he said, "Lynchburg, right? Lynchburg, Virginia." And I asked him, Lynchburg. And he said, "Yeah, Chico, Lynchburg, And when he said that, I really felt bad because he was talking about the tension that was why they named it Lynchburg. I mean, it had meaning to it, right?
In the building, hell yeah.
What's that? What's that, Joe?
I told him to hit the lights. Whoever is live too, hit the lights. Run the lights up, because this is a great conversation we having right now. Charles Haley is one of the all-time great defensive players that I've ever seen play.
It was a privilege. It was a privilege to meet him. It was a privilege to watch him on TV. When he came to the Niners, he helped him. He helped him win, I think, 1 or 2 rings with them. I think he might have won 3 with Dallas. He has 5. So, great man. And the stories. Just again, he talked about his daughter that played soccer. His daughter's in Dallas. One of his daughters. And just an all around great guy, and how tough his playing days were. How tough it was playing at George Mason. Where he went to college and where he got drafted out of, and how tough it was playing in the NFL. His trials of playing in the NFL. And again, I didn't know him that well, or I haven't talked to him since, but just a great time that was. Yeah. And if I can jump into the next little story I have for you,
go ahead, please.
Being that, and with all due respect to Keena Turner, I mentioned him on this channel, on this show, with all due respect, because he's given me opportunities and provided opportunities for myself to meet these guys and to be around them. I got to meet Dwight Hicks and Ronnie Lott at one of his tournaments.
Man.
And I was fortunate to give Dwight Hicks a ride to the airport from Pleasanton. And I think a year later, after this Charles Haley, the following tournament.
You know what?
It got people probably want to know why.
She called me to ask me to go with you, but I think I was fishing or doing something else.
I think I did ask you to go that time too.
Ask me, and I think I'm not sure, but I think I was fishing.
Life happens, I knew that. I don't think you rarely said no if I asked you to do something like that, game or go tournament. But people probably want to know why the tournament ended up in Pleasanton when he's actually doing running that tournament for to help out the Boys and Girls Club at Tracy, California, and it got too big. It just got too big, man, for Tracy golf course, Tracy Golf and Country Club. I mean, it went from Tracy to Blackhawk, Diablo Country Club for a couple years, and from there it went over to Poppy Ridge. I believe it's Poppy Ridge or Poppy Hills, one of those two golf. Anyway, I'm not a golfer, but I know that it got too big, the tournament itself, and I remember I got to see Dwight Clark golfing with Joe Montana.
Wow.
It was just amazing Very nice, very cool people, man. Very good dudes, man. Uh, Dwight Clark has since passed away, but I do remember seeing him pull up. I think it was probably the maybe 13th hole, 14th hole. There was nobody around, and Joe Montana pulled up. Uh, Two different carts, and Dwight was I think he was golfing with Dwight, and yeah, they were just cool people, man. Got to say hi to
Yeah.
them. Yeah, great people. But anyway, I want to get back to the story. I for the 49er fans that are watching this,
Yes.
I got to meet.
A
I
few
got to
of
give
them.
Dwight Hicks a ride to the airport from Pleasanton to Oakland, and those 40 minutes. If I could write, if I would have had a recorder, it would have been 49er gold because the stories he told me, how Bill Walsh in practice, and he told me I was privileged. This was privileged information.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, if he ends up
VIP
seeing
information.
this, if he ends up seeing this, uh, it's a tribute. It's a compliment that I'm even having respect out of that for Dwight Hicks as watch him as a player and as a man telling me the story. How Bill Walsh, I asked him, I said, how did you guys win all those Super Bowls? And he said, practice. Bill Walsh demanded perfection in practice. He said you'd go over a play one time, two times, three times, 15 or 20 times until you got it done, until the team worked it perfectly. He said that's how we had our success. He demanded perfection in practice. And
And
he
it
draft
showed
and
on the field.
he also said this. He also said this, which actually blew my mind, which you don't hear a lot of people say. He used that word sound. And he said when Bill Walsh went into a draft, he was looking for sound football players. Now, you use that word sound. I've used that word sound.
Yeah.
But when he said it, the definition of sound, I mean, look it up. I mean, the quality, the quality of football player that he was after. I mean, and he went to all the big schools, but he told me he looked everywhere. You know, he would find players, Division I, Division II, Division III, NAIA, whatever, that were sound football players, and it made sense. It made sense. From all over, Keena Turner, Purdue, Jerry Rice, Mississippi Valley State, Joe Montana, Notre Dame. I mean, different programs. I mean, I can just go through and through some of these players where they came from, but the quality of programs, not just the quality of program football, college football teams they came from, the programs, but the actual players themselves,
Yes.
sound football players. And no, I'm not talking perfection. Nobody's perfect.
No.
But just to hear him say that. And then I asked him, he played safety, right? And corner, wherever they needed him, right? I mean, 1981, Dwight Hicks and his hot licks, he had Ronnie Lott, Carlton Williamson, and I want to say Eric Wright, the three rookies. And he was the elder statesman of that corps, and they called that group Dwight Hicks and his hot licks. And I remember it was just so fun. It was just so fun to watch those guys play football because they just went after the ball, man. I mean, if you caught it, you caught it, but you better hold on to it. Because I can remember out of nowhere, because the year before they didn't do this. All of a sudden they're stripping dudes. I mean, they're tackling people with good technique and form, but if you don't hold on to the ball, it's theirs. Now I
Yeah.
remember they had a high turnover ratio that first year they won their first Super Bowl. But I asked them who. I said you got to play against, some of the best receivers of that era, right? And he named Harold Carmichael. He almost went through the best receiver of every team. Harold Carmichael, Billy White Shoes Johnson. Gosh, I mean, Joe, I mean, just the different receivers that Kellen Winslow. I mean, just different. Uh,
Man.
uh, uh, Jefferson with the goggles from San Diego. John Jefferson. Um, Harold Carmichael. He said Harold Carmichael was a beast. He was a beast to guard, and he'd shake you. And then, of course, if they threw a pass in his vicinity, the reach he had, he was just a beast to guard and a beast to actually try to defend. Lynn Swan, stalwart from Pittsburgh. I mean, just the names that he blurted out, I was like, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer, Hall of Famer. I mean, why do you think he got so good? I mean, those receivers made him good.
Yeah.
And the shit he learned, the techniques and the stuff he learned on the field, he passed on down to Ronnie Lott, Eric Wright, and Carlton Williamson. Those guys, those guys. And then they passed it on. And people want to know why teams can win, 2, 3, 4, 5 Super Bowls. I mean, look how long Brady stayed on the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's because he learned and passed on his technique, his game, how to win to all the football players coming through the program. And every team is a program, just like a college. Of course they get paid well. I mean, we're talking getting paid. And the one thing that I see in the teams that win year in, year out is that they have players that pass on their skill to the younger players. I mean, it's evident. It's evident, man. The teams that build, you're talking dynasties. I mean, you just look at it. Anybody that's a fan can look at their teams and say, okay, that's okay. I'm not talking about moving in guys in and out yearly. No, you got to keep some veterans around to show the younger guys how to win, what it takes to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they attracted, the 49ers attracted players like Wendell Tyler from the Rams, Hacksaw Reynolds from the Rams. Through the years, these guys would want to come over and play in the Niners. Why? Because they had a chance to win a ring.
Yeah.
I mean, it's that simple. They were winning. They were winning. And one other thing that Dwight Hicks told me that I'm sure a lot of people know is, and listen to this. This is a trip. Bill Walsh didn't tell his players, well, we had a good year. Next year we'll win the division. Next year we'll go for 10 wins. Next year we'll make the playoffs. If they won a playoff game, next year we'll go to the division championship. They were after the Super Bowl every year. That was their goal. Their goal every year wasn't to make the Super Bowl, was to win it.
And when they
now you know how they won. Now you know what their goal was. Some teams just have a goal to win their division. I mean, I've seen head coaches get on these programs and these talk shows and through the years. Yeah, I would like to. We didn't win again. I want to see this team play 500 football.
Yeah,
that's all you want to do. It's all you're going to get.
Yeah,
Bill Walsh. I hate to say it. Well, maybe I'm not. I don't know about hate being the right word, but he demanded perfection, and nothing short. If they didn't win the Super Bowl, their season was a loss.
Yeah, it's a failure.
That's all there is to it.
That's the kind of coach you want to play for, though.
Yeah, I got to meet his grandson at one of the tournaments, and I talked to him on the way home, and forgive me for not remembering. I want to say Brandon, but I met his grandson. He was at the time going to college, and just remember that Bill Walsh's grandson. If you hear him coaching one of these times, going up in the coaching ranks, you heard it first here. Bill Walsh's grandson. Look out, he might be coming up. He might have learned something from the old grandpa, man. But I got to meet him. He's a great kid. And I'm sorry, but I can't remember his name. But I wish I could show you his picture. I took a selfie with him and his Bill Walsh's grandson. A great smile, great kid. I had a good talk with him. He actually gave me now. Listen to this. I was at the tournament in Pleasanton, and I needed a ride back to Tracy because I got a ride up there, and he actually gave me a ride back to Tracy. So we got to talk about his grandfather and what it was like growing up with Bill Walsh as your grandfather. So being a Niner fan, Joe, from the time I was in 5th grade, playing on the flag football team with a Niner beanie on. I have that picture somewhere. I was a little guy, man. So, all my brothers, Giants and 49ers fans. So, can you imagine growing up from the time you're, 5th grade, whatever, 4th, 5th grade, through high school into my 20s, and finally getting to meet Keena Turner, who actually lives in Tracy. And I got to meet him and his wife, Linda. Great people. She's a great lady.
I got to meet
and you got to meet him. You got to meet him. Yeah. We helped, we painted his deck. I mean, his lean-to out his driveway. Did some work for him. That's what a great guy is, man. Help him, give him back to the community.
Guy. Absolutely great guy.
And
a beautiful lady too. Beautiful, beautiful folks.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really a blessing to from above to meet somebody like that, and to be involved in some of the things that they do with their life. In the Keena Turner golf tournament, that I believe it's on his 25th, 26 years. Just amazing that he's this man came out of nowhere. Went to Purdue University, played for Purdue, grew up in Chicago. Got to meet his mom and dad. Keena's mom passed away this year. DC Turner, just a great lady. And you know what? His dad too, Mr. T, we call him. Keena's Turner's mom and dad are just great people. Just beautiful people. I'm talking inside, right? And now I know why Keena was the man he is, But anyway, enough about that. I mean, I don't want to, talk enough about Keena.
Let me ask you this. Let's go back to MLB. Who was your favorite San Francisco Giant to watch play besides Willie Mays?
Oh, wow. Well, I love me some Jack Clark. I love me some Jack Clark. He didn't make no Hall of Fame. He ended up going to the Yankees and the Cardinals. Cardinals first.
He played for the Padres too, right?
I don't know. I remember when he left here, I think he went to the Cardinals.
Yeah.
The Yankees always want that big bat, so I know he ended up there. My favorite Giant to watch besides Willie Mays, man, put me on the spot, why don't you? So many. Bonds, Will Clark, Will the Thrill. Come on, man. Will Clark, I never forget Will Clark. Came to the Giants his rookie year. They went to playoffs. They're pouring champagne. He did on live TV. We fucking.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, man.
He was different, huh?
Oh man, Will the Thrill, dude.
Will Clark.
I'm gonna have to say Will the Thrill, man. But there have been so many San Francisco Giants I love to watch, man. Kevin Mitchell, Chris Fire,
Robbie Thompson,
Tito Fuentes, Billy North when he came and played with the Giants. I mean, man, there's so many. Bob Brenly when he played catcher, Mike Ivey. Bob. I mean, through the years. And you know what? There was one that a lot of guys made fun of, but he stayed on the team. I don't know why he couldn't bat. Batting average, Johnny Disaster LeMaster. Johnny LeMaster. Yeah, they called him Disaster. But you know what? He was solid shortstop. And I didn't understand how this guy played so long for the Giants. I mean, a few years, because he was a solid shortstop. That's why.
Yeah.
I mean, his bat wasn't that great, but played shortstop. Crawford's good. Still playing. Of course, Buster Posey. I mean,
Buster,
it's
okay.
hard to say. It's hard to say my favorite Giant because, like I say, I'll be 60 in July. I've been liking them for, you know, I want to say 5 years old, 50 years, right? 10 years
Yeah,
old,
at
8
least
years
50.
old, 53 years. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, from Candlestick to Pac Bell to AT&T, whatever it's called now. I mean,
Yeah,
I
they switched the name so much now, you know?
yeah, it's money, it's corporate, but yeah, I got to tell you, back to the Candlestick Park days.
Yes.
Friday night, Friday night. I want to say their first baseman. I can't remember. I'm trying to let me get the name now.
Come on,
He
my brother.
listen to this. He was going after a foul ball,
Uh-huh.
and I remember it was so damn foggy and windy that I think everybody in the park lost the ball, and the ball came down like right next to him. That's how bad the weather was, Joe.
The
It
wind
was
there was like the worst in any park.
the wind was swirling and the fog came in. When the fog came in during a night baseball game, forget about it.
You couldn't
Forget
see
about
anything,
it.
huh?
The ball got up in the air. It was a joke, man. It was crazy. It was absolutely an
Man.
adventure. It was an adventure to go to Candlestick Park in July and August for a night game. In September, uh, yeah, August was bad because it got cold. It got cold on the bay there, man. Uh, but see, I remember watching Greg Moonman Minton, he was the save machine.
Uh-huh.
Um, I recently saw a stat. He is the only pitcher. I think he pitched 200, the most consecutive innings without giving up a home run. Look it
Wow.
up. Look it
Okay.
up. If anybody wants to contradict what I'm saying or call me,
Okay.
I just read the stat. Greg Moonman Minton held the record or holds the record for most innings pitched. And he's a reliever now.
Yeah.
Most innings pitched without giving up a home run.
That's amazing.
Nolan
Let me
Ryan,
ask you
Carl, all
this.
those he got them all beat.
Let
But
me
of
ask you
course,
this.
they pitch more innings than him. I'm
Yeah.
sure he would got tattooed if he's the starting pitcher. But reliever wise, yeah, look it up. But
What do
anyways,
you
he pitched in the seventh or eighth, no, the eighth inning that game. The game, the 16 inning game. Now it's coming back to me. He pitched in the ninth or 10th that game. And then like the 13th, 14th inning, me and my buddy Henry Campos, we looked up. He's kicking back behind us with a cig in his mouth.
Wow.
He's out. He's behind us trying to check out, I think he's waiting for one of the concession girls. Cause he was kind of trying to, holler at her, right? As we say, talk to her back. We didn't
Yeah.
say holler back then, but he was trying to throw a rap to her back then. He had, check this out. He had his cigarettes rolled up in his sleeve like they do, like a cigarette smoker does, right? The pack of cigarettes
Yeah.
on
Yeah.
his, and he had a cigarette. And we were like, me and my buddy, like, check it out, Moon Man. And I yelled to him, I said, hey, Greg Minton. He's like, what's up? What's up?
Just smoking a cigarette. What's up? What's up?
Of course, it was like the 14th inning, nobody was there. And we're like, it was cold. He wasn't going to leave. He wasn't embarrassed that we saw him. But just the fact that he came out, you he pitched 3 innings earlier and smoking a cig, you know, trying to holler at this concession girl. It was funny, man. Crazy stuff, man. Yeah, some good stories at Candlestick Park, man. But
Question. Have you
yeah.
ever seen Pete Rose play there at Candlestick?
I saw Pete Rose who played with Johnny Bench,
Uh-huh.
the Big Red Machine.
Yeah.
I saw the Big Red Machine play at Candlestick, Joe.
Okay. Wow. Let me
Yeah,
ask you this though.
Johnny
Let me
Bench
ask
was
you this.
catcher.
Do
Yep.
you think they should let Pete Rose back? I mean, into the Hall of Fame now that everybody is gambling now? And they got the FanDuel, they got this, they got that. I think now, since everybody's gambling, they should let that guy into the Hall of Fame. He's probably the best hitter of all time.
You know what? The baseball Hall of Fame. I mean, who are they trying to kid? Who are they trying to kid? You know, I can't say that I know these guys did anything wrong. Anybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that. It's not absolutely not. Not going to throw that. Not going to take their inventory like that.
Yeah.
But based on his baseball skills, he should have been in the first time he was eligible. I'm going to go. I'm going to say it's been a long time overdue. Bart Giamatti had a heart attack that day or that day before he was supposed to meet Pete Rose and talk about possible reinstatement or being able to eligible for the Hall. Yeah, that's a story too. That's also a story that people know. Bart Giamatti was going to let him in. Bud Selig came in. I think it was Bud Selig that came in right after Bart Giamatti and said, I think it was him. Was it him or was it?
Bud Selig. Yeah.
From Bart Giamatti, or was it Fit? Was it not Finley, but I want to say there was another commissioner after Bart Giamatti before Selig. You know, my history's bad.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Bart Giamatti, people are speculating that he was going to let Pete Rose be reinstated, or else, I mean, not be reinstated in baseball, but be eligible to be in the Hall of Fame, because he should have been.
Yeah,
he should have been. He should be. He should be. As far as your question, I'm going to go back. Not because it's gambling's all what it is now, but he should have been in when he was eligible the first year, based on what he did on the field.
Yes, absolutely. I totally agree. I think that's the biggest snub in sports history. For that man not to be in the Hall of Fame.
Charlie Hustle, come on, man. And listen to this. In 1984, 85, Dwight Gooden's rookie or his second year, might have been the year that he was his rookie year. Check this out. He delivered a pitch, and you know the wind at Candlestick Park. This was a Saturday afternoon game. He was delivering a pitch on the mound, nobody on, and he was in his delivery, and the wind blew him over. Blew him off the mound on his way to deliver a pitch. Real talk. He didn't get called for a balk. He didn't get called for a balk. But the wind, Dwight Gooden, all 6 foot, whatever, 6'6", whatever he was.
Yeah.
That's how strong. That's a little sampling of what the wind was like at Candlestick.
That's amazing.
Blew Dwight Gooden off the mound when he was in his windup. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy stuff, man.
That is
I was right behind home plate. I was right behind home plate when he was pitching. Absolutely threw hard. His curveball looked like it fell, 12 feet, when it dropped. It just an unbelievable breaking ball. Had batters swinging at air. Of course I hated him because he owned the Giants, but that might have been he had a phenomenal year that year. I saw him blown off the mound. But Dwight Gooden and Darryl Strawberry. I think Darryl hit one out that game. The next time we talk, you people got to tune in. You got to tune in because I'm going to tell you some stories about Opium's Den in Oakland, California. You guys ain't going to believe.
I can't wait, Chico. Hey, thank you very much for joining my live and telling some of them great MLB 49er stories. Thank you, my brother.
You got it, brother. Hey, peace out. I know Hector might be in the crowd. Tell Hector.
Hector left.
Okay, tell Hector I said peace out. He's my boy, Jigadamas. God bless you, brother. I hope your mom's okay back in New York. And I see you representing with your Yankee hat. And
yes,
for those
sir.
of you, I got the coach with Coach Burt Braun and Ryan Lee and Brad Ha and my man Sean I can't remember Sean's last name. Forgive me, Sean. But they were all coaches with Burke Braun at the Island School Voyagers, private school on the island of Kauai. It was a great experience. Love that game of baseball.
Thank you, my brother. Christ 17 TV. And I'll catch
right.
you on the flip side. Thank you very much, Chico.
There you go. The Shaka from Kauai.
You got it, brother.
All right.
You have
Peace
a good
out.
night. All right.
Good night.